As a business leader or as a business owner, you have two primary jobs. One of them is leading, right? That's obvious. Everybody is aware of that. Well, the other one is learning. So why is that? Why is it important that you continually learn? We often will make time for leading, but we don't always make time for learning. But it's incredibly important, and it's something that you should be doing. So why is learning so important? It's a matter of leadership development. It's you continually improving yourself so that you can lead your team. Look, the team that you have now and the people that you have now, we're not the same people you're gonna have forever. People are gonna leave, you're gonna replace them, they're gonna retire, or also you're going to just grow and need to add new team members. Well, you need to know how to work with each one of them, and then also as your business grows, you need to be able to understand how to tackle the problems of tomorrow, right? Look, you only know how to think like you think right now. All the experiences you've had up to this point help to develop how you think and how you reason. Well, how do you think more broadly? How do you get prepared for the things that are happening later? Well, you do it by reading broadly, by watching podcasts, listening to podcasts, reading books, or also going to conferences, or just talking to a wide range of people to understand what is working in their business and what their perspectives are. That's all a part of growing yourself and getting ready for the future. Here's a reality. The world we live in is constantly changing. You and your team is constantly changing. There's nothing you can do about that. The industry that you are in is constantly changing. Well, how do you get ready for it? By continually investing in yourself so you're ready for tomorrow. Well, right about now, Bo, you may say, well, this doesn't seem right. Like I barely have enough time to schedule for just the work that I've got to do, plus also the leading that I need to do. Well, maybe it's a problem that you've got where you don't have too much to do. You're just doing maybe the wrong things. Well, how do you fix that? Well, I think a good start is you audit your calendar. Hey, set aside a week or 2 weeks and just write down a log, write down everything that you're doing and see how does it shake out. Look, I've got a delegation matrix that I'll be happy to give you. If you look in the notes and then also look in the first comment, you'll find a link to download that for free. I use it myself to get out of the daily grind, and it'll help you to be able to audit your time. It starts off there first, auditing your time, writing down everything you do, not the things that you should be doing, but the things that you actually do, and then how much time are you spending doing those. This process will help you to see what are some things you can automate, what are some things you can eliminate, and then what are some things you can delegate to someone else to free up time. Maybe you hire an executive assistant and you give some of these things to them, or maybe you've got a team member now that can take over some of those things for you. The second thing you do is you then go there and you circle all the different things that should be delegated away. Some other things you're going to see is maybe you underline the things that you need to maybe hire somebody to do. Here's the lens that you need to be asking as you do this audit and you look through this. You ask every time you see something that it is that you're doing that's taking up time from you, you ask these two questions. One of them is, does this help the business? Does it make a really meaningful impact on the business growth? The second question is, does it really require you? Whatever unique things that you have in you that make you fundamentally necessary in this business, look, if the answer isn't yes to both of those, you shouldn't be doing it. You need to remove those things from your plate of things to do immediately. Maybe it's through delegation, maybe it's through hiring an executive assistant, or maybe it's just through automation or just eliminating that thing. But you need to be honest with yourself. Look, if you need help, go back to that document I just mentioned. It's in the notes as well as also in the first comment, and it will walk you through how to think about this and get rid of these different things. So here's the next step. So once you've gone through, audited your time, delegated these things out, well then the time that you're saving, you reallocate that time to two different areas. One of them is those high priority items that need your special attention, your giftedness, and that make the biggest impact on your business. The other is reinvesting in yourself. It is whenever you invest in yourself, you're investing in your business and you're investing in your team. It's important. About 20%, in my opinion, about 20% of your week should be dedicated to that. That is a part of growing, and that's also a part of the work that you should be doing. You know, one of the hangups we have as business owners, hey, look, I have the same problem. I got 2 businesses and I've struggled with this same thing, is us recognizing that at some point, the work that we do, the most important work that we do is focusing on those core things that really grow the business, leading, and then also reinvesting in ourselves. It's not just doing the things, it's doing these things to lead the team. So, all right, so let's say that you've gotten to this point where you've been able to delegate these different things. You've hired an executive assistant to take over some certain things, such as your email inbox, your calendar, and scheduling and meetings, things like that. And now you got this idle time and you got to figure out, well, how do I learn? How do I set up this? Well, maybe you just block off 2 to 3 hours per week starting off. And you just block it off. Maybe there's a certain day. Thursdays are a great day. Usually in most offices, that's a slower day. So maybe you just carve off and you just let your team know, hey, I'm going to set aside these teams to just kind of focus on a few different things to help me to continue to understand how I can lead you guys better. And you just block it out and you just let them know that, hey, if it's an emergency, come and get me. Otherwise, you know, I need this time to focus on this. The next thing is you start finding people that can help you grow. Find maybe people that you can talk to that have been further in their business. It doesn't have to be necessarily the same business. It's good that if they are, but also maybe people who are outside your industry. You can still learn from them. Also, maybe just start asking, hey, what are you reading? How did it help you? Maybe ask different people that you respect, hey, suggest a podcast. Is there some podcast that you watch that helps you, to think more broadly and has helped you in your business? All these different things will help start building you to help broaden your mind, to help you to be able to be a better leader for your business. Look, if you need time to learn and to lead, then take a look at the framework that I have. I use it to get out of the daily grind and to protect my time to both learn and to lead. You can find a copy of it for free. It's in the notes as well as also in the very first comment.